says the ANC was in power since 1994. Today, in 2018, they want to debate the issue of land. It is very much obvious that it was not for EFF to push the issue of land. No other party was prepared to do so. Tsepo Kumo says AfriForum debating expropriation without compensation with a party that doesn't believe in it is a waste of time. I won't be wasting my time watching it. Give it to EFF to debate with AfriForum. I think we all know that those things are not true. Land expropriation without compensation is a policy of the ANC Youth League, which it adopted in its 2011 National Conference in Kalaga Estate. Ernst, let's continue with the discussion on economic transformation. How do you think South Africa should resolve the myriad of problems and challenges that continue to confront it? What do you think must be done to change the reality that the majority of South Africans still live in poverty? How do we change the reality that the majority of unemployed graduates are still black? How do we change the reality that majority of our people still sit in the township and watch the sun rise and set, and majority of those people are Africans?
Well, I think the first thing we need to do is we need to realize that the problem that we need to solve is the problem of poverty and unemployment. And to do so, there's a lot of things that we can say, and I think the problem is that government and political parties are trying to promote quick fixes. The only sustainable solution is really two things: to fix the education system. We know 80% of schools in this country are dysfunctional, of which the majority are black schools, and it's not necessarily the current problems in black schools have little to nothing to do with white oppression, and I can elaborate on that if you want. So fixing the education system, particularly for black children, and combined with that having economic policy and labor policy that makes it easier for people to start businesses and to employ people. And that would include, for example, re-looking this push for a higher minimum wage, because that has an impact. It increases unemployment, and it would include deregulation of the labor market to make it easier for people to start businesses.
Let's take Edwin from Cape Town. Good evening, Edwin.
Good evening, guys. How are you?
Good, and you?
That's good, man. Thank you for this opportunity. First of all, I would like to say thank you for the discussion, but I'd like to say, Domito, as the host, I don't understand why you're defending the ANC, because as we know, all over South Africa, the ANC are failing us as much as a government that is not looking after their people as the previous government. So from that part, I'll first say, stop defending my brother. There's very little to defend. Ernst, I would like to say that in order for us to move forward, we need to take away that privilege that you are portraying all over these TV screens. We are tired of seeing white privilege dominating all areas of society, specifically the economic system, like Domiso named the demographics earlier. White people need to sit back and allow people of color to start running the country that they own. We want the land. There is no such thing as we do not want the land. Our people have spoken. We are tired of white people telling us how to run South Africa. You took most of the land that you own by force. We are taking it with legislation. You should say thank you that we are allowing white people to live the way we live in peace. Because if you continue fighting us and you continue doing what you're doing now, the end of all of this will be that civil war that we tried to avoid under Nelson Mandela. So both of you have a lot to do, which is to bring forth transformation. One, by the ANC changing all that corrupt agents out of their past, and the white AfriForum need to change their views, relinquish their privilege, and work with us towards giving back what has been taken from us legally, or illegally, not legally. Thank you, guys.
Can I ask you a question?
Thank you very much, Edwin.
Yes, you can ask me a question.
I just want to respond to your question. Can you used the term white privilege. Can you just define it for me?
Well, I will define it.
Edwin.
Let me define it.
Edwin, thank you very much, Edwin. I think it's time for other callers, but Ernst must always like to blackmail us with semantics of defining terms. I've defined the term for you before, but can you continue? But can you answer Edwin's question?
It's hard for me to respond to a question if I don't know what he means. So I can respond to some aspects of it. The parts that I understood.
And I'll come to the issue of
okay. So he made the comment that I think he said something like all the land owned by white people was taken by force, or the majority of it. That's That's just not true.
What are the truths, Ernst?
The truth-
Because you have your own version of truth.
No, we don't have
in
our own version.
In AfriForum.
Our version is based on historical accounts of white and black people.
So you are the only one who have this correct historical account?
Well, it seems like it, unfortunately. I was
No,
hoping
no,
that it
Ernest.
wouldn't be
You
true.
are just using privilege. You've heard the story of says that until the hunters start writing their own stories, the lions will continue to write stories. That's what you are telling us, that you are doing to us.
What?
You come here to South Africa, you take our land. After that, you want to tell us how to record that history. You want to tell us how to remember how you took that land.
No, I'm not telling you.
That's basically
I'm
what you are
just telling
doing,
you
Ernest.
not to fabricate.
But let's get to the issue. Let's get to the issue, Ernest. The education system in South Africa indeed does have challenges, and majority of it are legacy problems. Do you agree with that?
Not currently, no.
Well, why not? Why not currently?
Because I can tell you what the problems are with the education system today.
But there are serious problems of access to schools. We've been, in the past 20 years, been engaged in a program of eradicating mud schools.
And
I come from a township where the apartheid government built a beer hall owned by government before there was a high school. How do you account? That's a legacy issue, and you can't run away from that.
It's very ironic that you use that example, because I literally, I think the last time I spoke at an event like this, a young black woman, black entrepreneur came to me afterwards who complained to me about the fact that she's trying to build an educational facility in a township near, I think it was Mokopane, I can't remember the town, and the local community opposed the idea because they wanted to build a beer hall, which is exactly what you're referring to now. So there's a lot of internal issues that need to be dealt with, including, in terms of the education crisis, including mismanagement by headmasters, including teacher absenteeism.
Let's go towards the end. Unfortunately, we're out of time.
The end of the answer.
It has been a very short 30 minutes, and that's it for this edition of Let's Have It Out. Keep the conversation going on social media. You can use the hashtag LHIO. I'm Dumiso Mokako, and thank you very much for watching. Good night. Thank you, Ernest.
Thank you very much.